Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. Don't be upset by the result you didn't get from the work you didn't do. The journey of your success will always begin with the small step of taking a chance. Be alone until you're valued. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. The things you say about others say a lot about you. Don't be afraid to start over again. This time, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience. It's not the future that's hazy, it's your thoughts about it. Stop expecting life to be fair. Start expecting yourself to be a better player, capable of handling any situation. When you stop chasing the wrong things, you give the right things a chance to catch you. Embarrassment is the cost of entry. If you aren't willing to look like the foolish beginner, you'll never be the graceful master. You are responsible for your own happiness. If you expect others to make you happy, you will always be disappointed. You are right about all the things you think you need to do. Don't wait. Get started. Not everyone will make it to your future. Some people are passing through to teach you life lessons. Be a good person, but don't waste time proving it. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's impossible. The best way to keep one's word is not to give it. Expect little from people. Expect a lot from yourself. That's the secret of a happy life. You can often regret your words, but you will never regret your silence. Don't ever let the same people disappoint you twice. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs. One today is worth 2 tomorrows. Try not to sacrifice your progress for the sake of a friend. They may not have done the same if the tables were turned. Today is the oldest you've ever been in your life, and the youngest you'll ever be again. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Private life always wins. Keep it secret till you win. Being alone is really better than being with fake people who pretend to love you. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. The more people let you down, the easier you'll get back up and realize that life doesn't stop for anyone. Sometimes you have to lose something good to gain something better. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Success is getting what you want. Happiness is wanting what you get. Most people stay in the same place for a reason. The things they hold dear are the anchor that holds them in place. You and yours before you are anyone else's. Sometimes you must go to war with yourself to fix yourself. You will never always be motivated, so you must learn to always be disciplined. The quickest way to succeed is to start now and figure it out as you go. You can't learn to drive in a parked car. You make the best decisions when in pain because fear of experiencing the same pain again is the strongest motivator. What we do during our working hours determines what we have. What we do in our leisure hours determines what we are. If you treat an individual as he is, he will remain how he is. But if you treat him as if he were what he ought to be and could be, he will become what he ought to be and could be. The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer someone else up. Grind like nobody has your back. Your life isn't yours if you always care what others think. You may not realize this, but the people you love are your biggest weaknesses. Set your mind on a definite goal and observe how quickly the world stands aside to let you pass. Once you realize your value, you will be greatly surprised at what you used to settle for. Don't tell anyone what you think or what you know. Keep your secrets to yourself, because a friend of today could be an enemy by tomorrow. If people treat you like an option, leave them like a choice. To reach somewhere, you need to leave something behind. It's best to leave things at the right time, otherwise you are left with too many regrets and complaints. Be impatient with actions, but patient with results. There's no limit to what you can achieve except that which you place in your mind. Distance yourself from people that bring out the person you're not trying to be anymore. Embrace solitude as a time for reflection and self-discovery. Never trust a friend who is silent about your flaws. Many of the people you told your secret to have already told it to others. Stop trying to skip the struggle. That's where the character is built. If you define the problem correctly, you almost have the solution. To make a woman want to have sex with you, the first thing you need to do is make her feel sexually attracted to you. The more you don't have sex, the less you want it. When you're working for someone else's dream, you sacrifice your own. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are. You spend your first 20 years worrying about what people think about you. You spend your next 20 years swearing that you don't care what people think about you. You spend the next 20 years realizing that they aren't thinking about you. Stand up and face your fears, or they will defeat you. Sometimes loneliness is the price you pay for growth. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Focus on making yourself better, not on thinking that you are better. Do what no one else can do, and you will become what no one else can become. Someone else's progress doesn't make yours any less. Not everyone you trust will be trustworthy. Comfort is the enemy of progress. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The people who mind don't matter. The people who matter don't mind. You can accept the apology, but you have to remove the trust. You're very hard to control when you're healthy. You're very hard to manipulate when you're clear. You're very hard to influence when you're sovereign. It takes a long time to realize how truly miserable you are, and even longer to realize it doesn't have to be that way. Everyone you love in your life should be a safe space, not more stress that makes you worry or another battle you need to overcome. Your direction is more important than your speed. You may not lead a comfortable life with a single source of income. You need to build others. The walls you build to keep things out are also keeping things in. Have at least one person in your life who gives you honest opinions. Sometimes later becomes never. Do it now. May your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do but gets you nowhere. No work is beneath you. The only thing that should be beneath you is your big ego. Work hard in silence and show your skills at the job you get, rather than criticizing the job. It's better to be alone than in bad company. If you do not make yourself indispensable, you will be unemployed soon. The secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. Time is your most valuable resource. There are no refunds or second chances for the time you waste. In most instances, obstacles are the way. You are more defined by what comes out of your mouth than what goes in it. Speech gives us the power to create or destroy. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher. Where fear ends, the strength begins. The first step to getting anywhere is deciding you're not willing to stay where you are. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. Betrayal never comes from your enemies. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. If you stopped seeing the world in terms of what you like and what you dislike and saw things for what they truly are in themselves, you would find a great deal more peace in your life. There is no perfect time. You must take the time you have and make it perfect. The best thing about hard times is that you get to see everyone's true colors. What the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Always take responsibility for your actions, for it is the mark of a mature individual. Your goals are the compass that guides you through the storm of life. If you don't value your time, neither will others. No relationship is worth damaging your mental health. Spend time with the elderly. Their wisdom and experiences are invaluable. Never expect someone to catch you when you fall, even if you have caught many from falling. There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. Watch out, you'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Just because a thought got your attention doesn't mean it deserves your attention. Be around people who feed your soul, not eat it. If you want the present to be different from the past, study the past. The key to happiness is letting each situation be what it is instead of what you think it should be. When writing the story of your life, don't let anyone else hold the pen. There are two paths you can go by, but in the long run there's still time to change the road you're on. Don't see anyone as your competition. You don't have the same goals, ambition, or brains. You're not the same. If you stay positive in a negative situation, you win. The heaviest burden we carry is the weight of our expectations. Learn to handle rejection gracefully. It's a part of life. If you are alone for a long time, soon you will accept loneliness. You will never know your potential if you are afraid to be alone. Do not let the things that have hurt you turn you into a person you are not. Build your own dreams, or someone else will hire you to build theirs. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. The secret of achievement is to hold a picture of a successful outcome in your mind. Count your blessings, not your problems. Be proud of how hard you are trying. Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. Don't let what's happening around you get inside you and weigh you down. If you need inspiration, don't do it. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Find something you love, something you can lean onto, something that would keep you going. You need something to fall back on when you get depressed. Accept that you are not important to some people and move on. Every time when you are rejected for something good, you are redirected to something better. On the other side of a storm is the strength that comes from having navigated through it. Remember, some of the best times of your life haven't even happened yet. Take some time today to recognize where you are right now and how hard you've worked to get there, even if you're not exactly where you dream to be just yet. Life lessons won't work unless you do. Don't change yourself just to make someone happy, unless that someone is you. The longer you live in the past, the less future you have to enjoy. Don't worry about those who talk behind your back. They're behind you for a reason. There are no missed opportunities. Everything you missed wasn't yours. If you don't sacrifice for what you want becomes sacrifice. Your life isn't yours if you constantly care about what others think. Sometimes you need to burn bridges to stop yourself from crossing them again. A man without a vision for his future always returns to his past. Make sure the choices you make are worth the losses you'll take. Action breeds more clarity than thought, so you can't think your way into a new life, you have to act your way into one. You can make all the mistakes you want, just don't make the same one twice. It's okay if you don't know how to move on. Start with something easier, like not going back. Sometimes you just need to be a bit selfish. Put yourself first and think about what is best for you. Learn to see people for what they are, not what you want them to be. Be humble enough to know you aren't better than anyone, but wise enough to know that you're different than the rest. Until you become comfortable with being alone, you will never know if you're with someone out of love or out of loneliness. People don't decide their future. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their future. The faster you do the things you avoid, the faster you get the good things you want. Accept the things you cannot change, and change the things you cannot accept. The greatest challenge in life is discovering who you are. The second greatest is being happy with what you find. You think you know someone, but mostly you just know what you want to know. If you don't control your mind, someone else will. If nothing else, some people just teach you how not to be. You can't make anyone love you, and you can't force yourself to love anyone else. Don't burn your opportunities for temporary comfort. Confidence does not come from an expectation of success. It comes from a comfort with failure. Sometimes the hardest thing and the right thing are the same. We are the average of the people we spend time with. Surround yourself with good people to be a good person. Don't expect to see a change if you don't make one. People will walk in and out of your life, and those you least expect will become past remembrances of a temporary time you once thought was permanent. You train people how to treat you, unconsciously or not. The point of the argument is not to defeat each other, but to understand each other. If it scares you, it might be a good thing to try. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. There are no bad emotions, only bad reactions to them. You have to learn how to channel your negative emotions in a constructive way. People who show you new ways of thinking and new ways of seeing life are important. Your enemies will often tell you the truth because it hurts, and your friends will often lie because it doesn't. Develop a willingness to be disliked. This will grant you the freedom to do what needs to be done, even if it's unpopular. Be brave enough to say what you want to say, not what people want to hear. If someone's absence brings you peace, you won't lose anything. The best revenge for people who talk badly of you is your silence. Learn to scare people with your silence. Your past or childhood may be messy, but it's a great force in your future. If it's out of your hands, it deserves freedom from your mind too. Don't be afraid to start over again. This time you are not starting from scratch, you are starting from experience. The more responsibility you take, the more you empower yourself to actually do something about that pain. Your friends and family do not always know what is best for you. Loneliness is the price you pay when you start to improve yourself. Don't take people for granted. You never know when they could be gone. You never know how much they mean to you until they're gone. Beware of the man who does not talk and the dog that does not bark. When someone shows you their true colors, don't try and paint a different picture. If you want to feel motivated to do something, take the smallest action towards doing it. You will never remember the days and nights you stay home and do nothing. Learn to earn $10,000 to $53,000 a month editing, just like I do on my YouTube channels. Join our school and get free promotion, monetization guidance and support. Link in bio.